Hello, my name is Peter, and today I have something interesting to look at. It's interesting in part because not too long ago, in a video, which was also sponsored by Squarespace, much like this one, I looked at a couple of, one sketchbook with very interesting and odd onion skin paper, all right? And this is something I'd never run into before. I struggled with it a little bit, but as a whole, I was very inspired and challenged. And now, check this out. This was sent to me by someone with an Etsy shop, which of course will be linked in the description. So if you like what you see or are curious, make sure you go check that out. And you can get one of your own. Whoa. Very well packaged. Yeah. Floor sword strikes again. Cardboard. Sketchbook number 1, it has a label that says semi-translucent, 50 GSM. Oh, the paper feels very soft. Semi-translucent seems about right. Excited to try that one. Sketchbook number 2, B7 bulky paper, 75 GSM. Also, another thing I'm instantly noticing is it seems to lie flat quite effortlessly. Something a lot of people who use sketchbooks a lot would appreciate. 84 GSM paper notebook. Let's do a sniff test. Almost entirely odorless. This final sketchbook, Tomo River Sanzen paper, 50 GSM. All right, so there you have it. Pretty cool. They seem pretty well constructed, very minimal. Like there's not a lot of extra stuff to them. A lot of the sketchbooks I used in the past, in fact, the one I reviewed, like the other onion skin one, which I think is why this one was sent to me with the semi-translucent paper. It was like really fancy and I was impressed by a lot of the extras that came with it, right? But that's not really what makes a sketchbook. You don't need all that stuff. And so I'm not gonna, mark these down or give them demerits or, not give them a gold star because they didn't come with extras. Because what you really want is just a good sketchbook that accepts a lot of really good lines and feels good in your hands, feels good under your hands. These could really work well. So let's go draw on them, see how they go. So far they feel great. And the real test coming right up. All right. And of course, this video is sponsored by Squarespace, who have made available to you a lot of really great tools for setting up, designing, customizing, and hosting your own website. I made peterdraws.com with Squarespace long before they ever started sponsoring me. So I like them. And so go check it out. They have a bunch of templates to choose from, and you can set up a storefront if maybe you're making some things you want to sell, whether they're physical things like drawings, like I do maybe, or little books of your drawings, or digital things. You can sell both of those, and there's like systems that they've designed that keep track of all your shipping and handling, tracking numbers. It's so simple and straightforward. So go check it out, squarespace.com, for a free trial, and then when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/PeterDraws for 10% off your first website or domain. Okay, I want to formally welcome you to the video once again. I'm going to do something I tried, or I mentally struggled with one of the other sketchbooks with very thin pages, which you could see through a little bit. In that one, I started at the front, but just flipped a few pages in, and then started flipping backwards as I drew drawings. With this one, I'm just going to start at the back, like I probably should have with the other one, and then just flip forward, and then the drawings will slowly pile up on top of each other. But first, I do want to mention the people who sent me these sketchbooks. You notice here that they sent me 4 of them, and thank you very much. Excuse me, I concentrate in this video mostly on the one with semi-translucent paper, I think is how they described it, because it's similar to another sketchbook I looked at recently. But all of the sketchbooks they sent were very nice, and I regret that when I filmed this intro, I had not done enough research on who this was, because it's very fascinating to me. It seems like Etsy is like a big source of business for them, because I looked them up. Of course, go check the link in the description. Their Etsy store is called Danica58. And maybe I just don't spend enough time on Etsy, but they have it says they have 44,000 sales on Etsy, right? That's more than I've seen before. Maybe you're a big Etsy shopper and that's not a lot to you, but to me, that's a lot. Like, I was impressed when I saw that. And they have 12,000 reviews with an average of 5 stars. Okay, I have never heard of these people before they sent me I think it was either Instagram message or email saying, hey, can we send you some of our sketchbooks to try out? I'm like, yeah, please, of course. I always want more sketchbooks to try out. But anyways, I'm just impressed, I guess, by what they've got going on there on Etsy. And just scrolling through their products, they have a lot of sketchbooks. They all look pretty similar to the ones they've sent me. It says that it looks like they have a lot of Japanese fabrics, washi tape, notepads, pens and markers, mostly all Japanese stuff. It's a notebook and accessories shop. And I think, maybe I'm looking at the wrong thing now, but I think I read somewhere that, like, this is all stuff that they collect all the materials, like all the different types of paper and stuff. And then they have people there that hand bind all the sketchbooks. So it's like a legit thing they've got going there. So I don't know. I'm happy to have some of their materials. I feel like they should start like embossing their sketchbooks a little bit, because wait, where's mine? Well, I just don't remember seeing any kind of like branding or anything on it, like if they had like a little stamp or something. Oh yeah, okay, I found the sketchbook that I drew in, and it's completely, as far as I can tell, it's completely nondescript. The only writing on the whole sketchbook is the piece of tape they put on it that says semi-translucent 50 GSM. So if you want something very minimalistic, so minimalistic that there's not even like a lot number on it, there's no little logo on it that says what brand of sketchbook is on it. I mean, this really seems like the way to go. Every single mark on this sketchbook will be yours. So that is a really cool opportunity, right? Because sometimes I have gotten sketchbooks in the past where I'm like, every little thing on this sketchbook is amazing because I've made it, but then there's like some weird logo or something on it, on the front or the back or the inside cover. I'm like, that kind of throws off the whole thing. It's a different vibe. But these are completely and utterly empty when you get them. which is cool. So thank you again, Danica58, for sending these, and hopefully, I mean, I just have so many sketchbooks now, and I even worry about switching sketchbooks before I fill up the previous one as much as I do already, but I'm just gonna keep those other ones you sent for a rainy day and hopefully get to them because I know they're nice, and I'm looking forward to it. So thank you. Also, I hope you all had a good Thanksgiving. I had a Thanksgiving, like an early Thanksgiving with my family, where I went like the weekend before down and saw some of them. Very nice. I have a couple of nephews now, which I didn't have a few years before. I guess because that's how life works sometimes. Sometimes new people exist that didn't used to, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, it's just so weird how, and I guess sometimes people that did exist stop existing, depending on what you believe. But that's slightly less exciting to think about. Also, I'm craving eggnog now. I'm looking up recipes to make the best kind. If you have any tips, let me know. Craving eggnog, and I feel like it used to be when I tried eggnog when I was a little kid, it just tasted like paint to me. I'm not sure which part of it tasted like paint to me, because looking at some of these recipes, it's just like eggs, milk, cream, some different spices, maybe or maybe not alcohol. I'm pretty sure I'd never had the kind of alcohol when I was little. I don't know why I didn't like it, but then I guess I think I waited a few years. Maybe I think your taste buds do change. This is what I'm not sure about. As you grow up, is it just your opinion about how things change, or do your taste buds like physically change? Do things actually start tasting differently? I feel like there's nothing that I liked when I was little that I don't like now, but there are things that I didn't like when I was little that I do like now. I've only grown to accept more things. Why does it never change for the worse? Why do I grow to like less? I never grow to like less things. I only grow to like more things. Maybe it's just a mental thing, like learning to appreciate more things. I do like candy less now than when I was little, but I've heard that kids have a much higher tolerance for just sugar and sweetness in general. So maybe that is one thing. Anyways, thank you all for watching. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you all had a good Thanksgiving, and whether you're with family or friends or chilling out by yourself, I've had a few Thanksgivings like that, and frankly, I feel like those Thanksgivings are as good or bad as you make them. So I hope you made it a good one, if possible. Some of you maybe had to work. I did go to the gas station and bought some snacks from the gas station on Thanksgiving, so I am complicit in people having to work on Thanksgiving. I won't try to excuse myself from that, but it's not like Thanksgiving is some holy thing, but I guess it is nice to be able to be home if you want to on some certain days of the year when everyone else is at home, and maybe those people couldn't be with their family because they were scheduled to work. That's the big downside. Anyways, about this drawing in this sketchbook. Look, I try to use two different pens with two different types of ink. The first drawing I did was with a Muji ballpoint pen. Maybe it's a gel pen, I don't know, but it has very thin, fine lines. Nothing seeped through. It all worked really good. I do have a recurring problem with a lot of different sketchbooks where for some reason the Muji pens don't work in the lower left hand and right hand corners of the page as well. Usually lower left hand corner. I think it's because there's something I'm doing as I'm drawing where I have like one of my hands resting there for a lot of the time. I don't realize it, and that a lot of my like skin oils get on the paper and stop the pen from working as good because I somehow got the paper so oily or something. And in the second drawing I did, I used oh my god, I just realized I used two Muji. I didn't do that on purpose. Guys, I didn't do that on purpose. I used 2 different Muji pens. I used the Muji aluminum fountain pen with platinum black carbon ink in it. And this laid down much thicker, gushier lines with much more ink in each line, and it still didn't seep through. I could easily see the ink from the other side, but there was no leakage. I've drawn in so many other sketchbooks with paper that looks so much thicker, sturdier, and just this seemed like it had so much more substance, but the ink would go right through. So there's some mystery, at least to me, about paper and how it works. I think it must be the structure of the paper and the fibers. And there's something here with this translucent paper where the ink just kind of sits on top. But it wasn't taking forever to dry either, which is good. Because sometimes if the paper's not absorbing anything, the ink sits on top forever, never drying. And then it turns into Smudge City. If you've ever been to Smudge City, you know you might not want to stay there very long. It's not the funnest place to be unless you go there intentionally. But I had like 0 problems smudging, seeping, leaking, feathering, any of that stuff. So I'm very happy with the paper. The only bad thing that happened is because the paper is so light and thin, the edges of the paper were curling up from the moisture of my hand resting on it. And I don't know if there's a way to overcome that, because really all I would do is, if I'm opening up the sketchbook now, it's not really a problem. So if the paper curls up on your hand a little bit, and then you can just leave the sketchbook closed for a day or 2 and it kind of straightens out again. Anyways, okay. Have a good day. See you later. You're doing great. You look amazing, and let's have a good rest of the year, okay? I believe in us. Whew. Okay, goodbye. All right, good work, everyone. Now for a victory snack. One for you guys?